Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about the two hands-free pumping apparatuses that I have been able to use in the last 4 months. I had the opportunity to use a new one that I didn't buy because I accidentally left my own pumps at my parents' place over Thanksgiving. So first I'll just run through how they work, and then I'll talk about the pros and cons of both. So this is the Willow. It is probably the OG hands-free pump that came out a few years ago that I feel like has revolutionized pumping and really changed lives, because that's how I feel about my hands-free pumps. But this is not the one I originally bought, but I'll just go through how this one works first, and then I'll go through the other one that I own, which is called the Elvie. So the Willow originally came as a hands-free pump where you had to install a storage bag. These were one-time use storage bags, and super convenient because you could just pump and take it out of the pump and then put it into the refrigerator or freezer as you needed. So how this works is there's a one-way valve on here, and it goes into their little flange. So you basically just tuck it into the flange, and it goes in here. This closes, and this goes into the Willow, and it shuts magnetically. Okay, once this is closed, there is a start button here, and this is turned on. Then you place it in your bra, and then there is a start button on top. And that is the sound that it makes. Once you're done pumping, you hit the pause button. You carefully take it out of your bra and just make sure that it is still upright. And then you want to flip it over so that it's on its side. And then you press the start button again. There's going to be milk in here and in a tube that I'll show you in a moment. And if you don't do this, it sits in there and you lose precious ounces. So you hit the start button again, and then you slowly tip the Willow upside down until it's fully upside down like this. Then you can go ahead and turn off the Willow. And you'll have your milk in here. With the Willow with the reusable flange and storage container, the one thing that you have to do that's a little different is that there's a small lever right here, and it changes from 1 to 2. So once you're done pumping, it'll be in 1. You move it to 2, and then you do the flip. That's the only difference. So that's the Willow. That's how that works. The Elvie is the pump that I purchased at the beginning, that I've been using for the last 4 months. So I might have some bias, and I've passed the learning curve a long time ago. So this one is a slightly smaller footprint than the Willow. So they're similar in a lot of ways, even the color scheme, but the Elvie is just a little bit smaller and fits in the bra a little bit more comfortably. So the Elvie has a similar situation where you hit the on button, And then there's a play button at the top, and you just hit that once you've put that into your bra. And that's how that sounds. It's a little quieter than the Willow, but they're both pretty quiet. Once you're done pumping, you hit the pause button and you can just turn the Elvie off, and just take it off. So the Elvie, you just release the storage jar from the bottom, and you can either remove this small piece out from here and put a jar top that they supply you with and store this, or you can just dump this into a storage bag or bottle that you're using. What I've been told is that actually if you remove this little green part, this is a spout. I don't like that spout. I don't think it's more helpful to use, so I just take off the whole thing and pour from there. You just have to be confident and do the pour and it's good, or I just use the top to store this. The pros of the Willow are that you can use this in almost any direction from what I understand. I've never tried it, but you can use this laying down, and you can be like over it, and the Willow suctions in a way so that it doesn't spill while you're using it. I have had moments where I've used the Elvie and I've leaned over to pick up my baby and some of the milk has spilled out. It doesn't happen often, so there is some wiggle room while I'm walking around and doing things, but it does have the propensity to spill more, I guess, than the Willow. So the cons of the Willow, in my opinion, are that it's really a little bit more difficult to clean. So I'll just show you the reusable container because this is what I would use if I only own the Willow. There's a little flap that you have to take off, and then there's this flexible tube that's on the back, which is the mechanism of the pump. And so you pop that off. I can't do this. Okay. And then you unlock the front of this, and it comes out like so. My issue is that it's a little difficult to get into these crevices up here and in this tube. And then this flex thing is a little bit harder to clean. And I think one of my biggest gripes is also that the Willow comes with one charging cable and it's a proprietary plug, whereas the Elvie comes with two cables and it's a micro USB. So my Elvie double pumps came with two of these wires. It didn't come with the cube, so I just used some that I had in the house, which was actually nice. But I also end up charging my Elvies all of the time together because naturally they run out of juice at the same time. So I think it's a little weird that the Willow comes with only one charging cable. I guess how you can mitigate that is just charge your Willows before they run out all the time. I have heard that the Willows last for longer. I haven't used these enough to have them drain on me, so I don't know if that's actually the case, but I pump 4 times a day with my Elvies and they usually last 2 days, so that's probably 8 pumps. So I'm not sure if the Willows actually last longer than the Elvies, but that's what I've been told. So the Elvies, as I was showing you, come apart like this. These jars are pretty easy to clean. I just have a bottle brush that I stick in there and I wiggle around, and I use the same to clean these. This comes out easily, and I wash that. And then the breastplate comes out like this. And this is fairly easy to clean as well. and then they go back together very easily like this. This just connects, fits on, connects in there. This goes in here and just pops in like that. So this is the reusable part of the Willow. So it goes in like so. And then you just have to turn this dial to lock. And then you connect this up top. There is a bit of a learning curve since I haven't used this for very long. And connects in here. This just closes here, and you just have to make sure that the dial is at 1 while you're pumping. And then this just goes in like this. Okay. One thing I did forget to mention is that the Elvie can hold up to 5 ounces per container, whereas the Willow actually can hold 4. At least that's what is advertised. I did note that there's a little bit more room in the Willow, and you can actually get a little bit more than 4 ounces in there. But if that's a concern of yours, considering the volume, then I would definitely go with the Elvie. So another thing I wanted to mention, which I just forgot in the original filming, is how the storage units actually pour. So I'm just going to show you here. This is the reusable container from the Willow. I just put some water in here so you can see. So you can just open the flap here, and then you can just pour like this into another container. So this is one of, I would say, a con of the Willow, in that once you actually pump, you cannot just put this straight into the refrigerator. You have to empty it into a storage bag or into a milk bottle. But as you can see, it's pretty easy to actually pour, so that's really nice. This is the Elvie container with the spout still on, so you can just take this off, and then it pours pretty easily like so. The way I actually like to do it is to take that entire thing off and then just have it like this and easily pour as well. Oh, there's too much water, but you get the idea. Super easy either way. But what I do like about these containers, as I mentioned, is that I can just screw a top on, and then they're completely waterproof. You can throw them into a bag, you can throw them in the fridge, whatever you want. I feel like this is a lot easier to use. So that's the quick rundown of the Willows and the Elvies. I think my overall feeling on both is that the Elvie is slightly easier to use. I take these out with me all the time. I wear them at dinner, I wear them out at bars, I wear them at work when I'm at the office, and it's just really easy to be able to take these jars out and put them right into my packet, my like iced lunchbox container basically. And I did actually use the Willows on a hike this weekend, and I thought that the bags were convenient theoretically, but it was just such a hassle to like get all of this in line, and perhaps if I used it more and felt more comfortable, it'd be great. But once again, this is way bigger in my bra than this is, and it was just actually kind of uncomfortable because of how tight this felt because of its size. So they're pretty much the same this way, but the Willow is a lot wider. Oh, also the Elvie came with these little storage bags that I put my Elvie in when I'm taking them to the office and anywhere so they can stay clean. I like them because this is how I walk around with them when I'm at the office. And the Elvie also came with these bra adjusters. I actually don't use them, but if it's something that you like, you can just basically extend your maternity bras, nursing bras with these, so you have a little bit more room. But I keep my bras pretty loose anyway, so I don't really use them, but it's nice to have if you have a bra that's like a little bit too tight to stuff something. So maybe it'd be good for the Willow. I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions.